Hello, good morning, warm welcome to your decoding of the ET Wealth newspaper. I'm Priyanka Bhatia from Women on Wealth, and today, like I said, we are going to decode the ET Wealth newspaper. And today the article that we are going to decode is about the best mutual fund managers in 2021. So who are those managers, the mutual fund managers who are the best? And why they're called the best is because they have made the most money for their investors. So this is the article that we are going to decode and talk about today and discuss among each other. As we all know, we are a community and we are better together. Okay, let's welcome our people. Hi Namita, Swati, Nidhi, Jina, Ashna, Pooja. Warm welcome everyone. Awesome. Good morning. Hi Ma. Good morning. Suvarna, Rohini, Rajeshwari, Kavneet. Good morning everyone. Diksha, Assam, Nihara, welcome. Let's begin guys. So today the article, like I was saying, we're going to decode is on best mutual fund managers. And these are the managers who have created most wealth for their investors and what truly makes them the best. That's the conversation. Hey Nima, Bhagya, Lavita, welcome. So, how these people have sustained long-term wealth for their investors. Okay, so that's the conversation. The first person that we are coming to is Shreyash Devilkar. Okay, he is about 42 years old, one of the mutual fund managers, and he is #1 in the large cap space. He is Shreyash Devilkar, 42 years old, BE in chemical engineering, masters in management studies. He has about 16 years experience and he manages Axis Blue Chip Fund, where the size of the fund is about 29,161 crore. The 3-year annualized return is 13.92% and 5-year return is about 15.92%. And he's saying that, in his portfolio, in his fund that he manages, the top 3 sectors are finance, then technology, and then consumer defensive. The financial sector has about 36.39% allocation. Technology has 17.85% and consumer defensive has 11.08%. And the top 3 stocks in his fund are Infosys, where 9.67% money is invested. Then is Bajaj Finance, where 8.75% money is invested. And then HDFC Bank, where 8.68% of the money is invested. So here is what ET Wealth is reporting. Axis Blue Chip has not exactly squashed the performance tables during the recent rally, but Shreyash Devilkar's quality-centric approach. Okay guys, I want you to start typing what you understand by quality-centric approach, because that's what he has, Shreyash has, and that stresses on downside protection, and it continues to power its engines. Acknowledging that the pandemic could not have been modeled into expectations, he has quickly aligned to the new realities. While leaning towards quality, Devilkar has made some subtle changes, gravitating towards B2B centric firms amid lockdown restrictions on mobility. So look at what they're saying, quality centric approach. And then when the pandemic hit us, he made subtle changes in the portfolio and gravitated towards B2B centric firms. So that is also informing you about the strategy shift that came in with the pandemic. Okay. Hey Sangeeta, Sunil, Shrija, Amrita, good morning everyone. Start typing guys, what are you getting? Because this is an important part of understanding the mutual fund manager's strategy, what he is doing, how he is selecting the portfolio. Okay, Ashna is saying he believes in ethics, governance. Brilliant. So when we are talking about quality, yes, a lot of governance shows up there. Governance is an important part. Beautiful, Ashna. And the qualitative strengths of the company rather than just looking at the numbers. Yes, brilliant. Awesome, Jinnah. Quality is king. So Axis Blue Chips portfolio has also grown from its earlier compact positioning. His quality focus has helped the fund capture the growth of financially stronger companies taking over from weaker companies. So he's built that shift from weaker companies into financially stronger companies, and he insists that the survival of the fittest and their ability to thrive amidst uncertainty will reflect in their earnings growth going forward. So with disruption abundant everywhere, he warns that investors need to be wary about narrowing moats, particularly in large cap stocks. So his reading of the market is B2C segments like retail consumption, retail credit growth has relatively not done well so far due to COVID related mobility restriction. So this segment offers superior risk reward. But we need to be watchful, and hence he's made that shift to B2B businesses. And how his fund is positioned, he's gone overweight in IT, export-led pharma and cement sectors. So that's the approach Sriyash Devilkar is following. Anybody who would want to sum this up in 2-3 lines? Because everything you would have not understood. Of course, this is a little technical, and especially for women who have not done the Money Gym program and the stocks course, this can sound technical. But women who have done the courses, could you start sharing in 2-3 lines what you get about Sriyash Devilkar and his strategy? And also the portfolio, okay? Because there is quite a lot to learn from this portfolio, honestly. So quickly, guys. Swati Kulkarni, by the way, is the only woman in this entire list of best fund managers, and she manages the UTI Master Share Unit. The only woman. Okay. Let's move forward, guys. Nobody wants to sum up? Let me sum up then. So, IT sector, export-led pharma, cement sector. So, most of them more B2B are the focus for Axis. Focus on quality, not really on any business. Focus on the narrowing competitive advantages in business and pick the right one. Okay, that's the thing. Rohini, balancing done based on qualitative analysis than quantitative. Looks at consistency, Ashna, reflected in his performance. Focus on quality, move to B2B sector. Got that. Prerna, focus on quality stocks, finance, IT, priority. Brilliant. Let's move forward, guys. So guys, one fund manager I've spoken about today from the large cap space, and now I'm coming to the second one from the multi-cap space. And well, I would say more from the flexi cap space. Okay, I wouldn't want to call, though ET Wealth is saying multi-cap, but multi-cap has its own restrictions. So I would say more like flexi cap fund, and in flexi cap, it's very, very much like large cap. So that's the conversation which is next. And the fund manager here is Rajiv Thakkar, 48 years old, BCom from the Bombay University, chartered accountant, CFA charter holder, and a graduate from ICWA. He has an experience of about 20 years in the industry. and he manages the Parag Parekh Flexi Cap Fund. This is a fund which is a size of 13,187 crore. So smaller than Axis Blue Chip really. 3-year returns, however, are much higher. 22.84%. 20.53% is in 5 years. Note guys, one word of caution, just because I'm reading the returns and the AUM and the fund manager's strategy, this is not the only criteria that we check when we are picking good quality mutual funds. There is far more that we check. And well, people who are money gymmers know what I'm talking about. The top 3 sectors again in his portfolio are finance, where 29.33% is 29.33% money is allocated. Technology has 22.74% money, and consumer cyclical has 15.59%. The top 3 stocks are Alphabet. Alphabet is the company that owns Google, Bajaj Holdings and Investments, and ITC. Let's read about his strategy now. So Rajiv Thakkar insists the move towards digital transformation has begun well before the pandemic hit. It only got accelerated after that. So again, look at that, the focus on IT digital transformation that he's talking about. His early move into this space benefited the fund immensely. Amid woes in the financial services space, Thakkar shifted away from lending-based businesses to fee-based companies. He has avoided landmines amid the pandemic-led shake-up by staying away from weaker leverage businesses. Look at the common thread. Both, Shreyash Devalkar and Rajiv Thakkar talking about staying away from weaker businesses, staying away from businesses, the competitive advantages of which are reducing. So Thakkar's fund occasionally uses cash as a shield during market excesses. This allowed him to quickly deploy 10 to 12% cash during the market crash. Look at the strategy. When the crash happened, the cash which was there with the fund was really deployed. 10 to 12% cash was deployed right there and then. Look at the strength, that Rajiv Thakkar has and the team has. However, fresh ideas have become scarce. The cash position has crept up again. Another level Thakkar leans on heavily is the allocation to foreign equities. So he is talking about moving to foreign equities, and he insists that these players remain well positioned to capture opportunities from the transition to the digital space. Now, what he's saying, good news and good valuations seldom go hand in hand. So clearly the valuations are very high, and if these are good businesses, then the valuations are bound to be high, which is fine, and even I think that way. So in March and April of 2020, the headlines were very bleak and the valuations were very attractive. Today there is clarity in terms of the vaccination path and the subsequent opening up of and normalization of life. Western countries already have some semblance of normalcy. Given this environment, valuations in the market have gone up significantly. It is time to be selective in the purchases that one makes, as there are many pockets of overvaluation. What are you getting, guys? Quick 1, 2, 3 liners about it. Okay, hi Ishika. What is narrowing of the moats, not business advantage, Sangeeta? Okay, narrowing of the moats. As businesses mature, their competitive advantages reduce. They become less wide and less deep. That is the conversation happening here. Okay, Nimai saying smart, right focus. Ankita is saying, why is he not given the #1 position when he has generated most returns? So he's generated most returns in the flexi cap space. And Shreyash Devilkar got the #1 position in the large cap space. He is #1. Rajiv Thakkar is #1 in the multi-cap or the flexi-cap space. That's how it is, okay? They're all #1. Cash deployment, Jina, when the market is going down, okay, there are huge opportunities to buy into quality businesses at lower prices. That's where cash is being deployed. Ashna, you loving the way he's thinking? He's studying the global performance? Yes. Prerna, again, finance and IT sectors are leading. Yes. Nihara, diversify and look into foreign equity as well to be wise about valuations. Got that. Awesome. So that's about Rajiv Thakkar. Got that, Jina. Look at some of the aspects that he's also talking about for his stock selection. Before moving on, I would like to read this line for you guys. He's saying, we are sticking to companies that have a good management pedigree. So good management, good business characteristics. Third, reasonable valuations. Wherever we find discomfort in terms of valuations, we are trimming our holdings and may see some increase in cash holding over time. So that's more into stock selection and how this mutual fund is doing its stock selection. So that's Rajiv Thakkar, guys. No, Ankita. No. The first one, Shreyash Devilkar, that I spoke about was in the large cap space. Rajiv Thakkar is in the multi-cap space. Okay, let's now come to the mid and the small cap spaces. And in the mid and the small cap spaces, again, #1 is Shreyash Devilkar with Axis Mid Cap. And let's see what he's saying about the mid cap space. Okay. So Axis Mid Cap space, the mid cap space has been taken by Axis Mid Cap, Shreyash Devilkar, 42 years old. The top 3 sectors again are finance, consumer and IT. The top 3 stocks here are Coforge, Cholamandalam Investment and Finance and ICICI Bank. If you remember, ICICI Bank in the last 1 year has done extremely well, like really extremely well. So he is saying, Shreyash Devilkar is saying that he is positive on opportunities in sectors like IT, consumer durables, industrial consumables, cement, chemicals and clean energy. If you notice, cement, chemicals, clean energy have only seen an upward trend for many months, or actually over an year now. So that's what he is talking about. He's saying the mid-cap segment has done extremely well over the past 1 year. Export-oriented sectors such as IT and chemicals have particularly done well. If you see the companies in the IT space, especially mid-cap IT companies have done extremely well. Like I also have some in my portfolio and I can see the huge returns that the mid-cap IT companies have delivered. So he's saying export-oriented sectors such as IT and chemicals have particularly done well. Well, you know, one of the companies that we selected in the mid-cap, small-cap space, and a lot of our community members chose to invest in it, and they even have over 100% rate of return. So the money has actually doubled. So yeah, even I think IT, chemicals, clean energy, these are the way forward. Bottom-up stories also emerged from the unorganized to organized shift. If you notice, guys, when we are in the Money Gym program and the stocks course, we are also following the bottom-up approach, where we are coming down to the companies, and from the companies we are coming into the sector, the industry, the economy. So from the bottom up we go. That's the approach even I follow when I go about selecting companies. So bottom up stories also emerge from the unorganized to organized shift, changing dynamics in global supply chains and increasing focus on cash flow and profitability by managements during the pandemic. Valuations of mid-cap stocks are rich though. Again, very similar sectors but very different companies because of the mid-cap size. So he's saying that as more businesses have started participating in the earnings uptick, the Wilker has expanded the portfolio from 35 to 40 stocks to around 55. So right now the number of stocks in this fund have increased. His broader preference within the mid-cap space remains for businesses that either have leadership positions. So even in the mid-cap space, he's picking companies with leadership positions in a niche area or challenge, or the ones which are challenging the bigger rivals in a larger arena. I love this. His ability to deftly negotiate risk in this segment is visible in the fund's superior downside protection. So that's Shreyash Devilkar, guys, in the mid and the small cap space. Let's see if we can pick one more from the small cap space now. And you guys can start typing what is your understanding of the mid cap space now that you've heard some bit. So Pankaj Tibrewal is also on the list with Kotak small cap. Edelweiss mid cap, Edelweiss small cap are also in the list with Harshad Patwardhan. Yeah. And Anupam Tiwari is there with Axis small cap. Well, yeah, a lot of Axis funds have made it. And R. Srinivasan is there with SBI small cap fund. Let's see SBI small cap. Okay. You are wondering when clean energy would feature? It's already featuring big time, Ashima. Ankita, it is not that because of the basis of returns, just returns, they are given number one position. It's not that. Okay, never ever just look at returns to make that decision. That just because another fund has 21% doesn't mean it is better than Parag Parikh. Okay, one word of caution. Ankita, if you are in the Money Gym program, then you know the host of things that I'm talking about. Okay, Yadu, what are you saying about the Axis small cap? If you can complete that for me and for yourself. Let's see, guys, I'm now beginning on the SBI small cap fund. This is a size of 9,620 crores. 21.57% is the 3-year annualized return. 5-year annualized return is 21.96%. Top 3 sectors are industrial, consumer cyclical and basic minerals. Top 3 stocks are LG Equipments, Carborundum, Universal and JK Cement. He is saying that a lot of underperformance is there in the small cap segment and it has gotten corrected during this market rally. So incremental outperformance will be the function of the overall bullish or bearish trend in the market. He's saying while the fund did very well on absolute returns thanks to the market rally, it has lagged the benchmark on a relative basis. We are not chasing returns. Our focus will be to reduce drawdowns. So look at it. Can we reduce the drawdowns? So can we pick companies or businesses which will fall the least during bad times? That's the conversation here. And that's the most important conversation in the small cap space that we need to always look into. In this regard, liquidity